Does a policy work or does it not? Has it been tried in the past, and what were the results? So in the world of reason, I look for, spreadsheet type results. Here are the inputs, give me the outputs. So you're trying to tell me, like the military strategists and a lot of these political folks, you're trying to tell me that you have less than 1,000 troops in the region to prevent the, quote, reconstitution of ISIS, while you just abandoned Afghanistan and billions of dollars of military equipment. While you were there to supposedly prevent the reconstitution of Al-Qaeda. Can everybody just digest that for a minute and explain to me in what world that makes sense? So you abandoned an entire country after a decade of war, probably $1 trillion in net assets given there over time and opportunity costs, right? Countless deaths. You forfeit the whole country. You give them one of the world's biggest armies and billions of equipment. And now you're telling me we're in Syria, and you've got people on both the Republican and Democrat side who want to escalate this fight. This is like, well, you kicked me between the legs, now we're going to kick you too. What, really? So you want to escalate now in the Middle East while escalating in Ukraine, while simultaneously preparing in a half-assed way for an invasion over the Strait in Taiwan. And that makes sense to you. With a nuclear power, that makes perfect. You're sitting at a table going, yeah, sure, we can do all this. And not to mention, here, explain this to me, too, using reason. You've got the Biden administration that goes over and, by the way, humiliates the Saudis, who, let's be clear, the Saudis have their own mercenary interests, got it? But we live in a world of realpolitik, okay? We don't live in an Aesop's fable. We have to deal with a lot of bad actors around the world. So you've got this rotting bag of oatmeal in the White House who on one hand is saying, hey, listen, you Saudis really suck. Let me give you a fist bump and get humiliated. Saudis, the only natural, real counterweight over there outside of Israel to the Iranian death to America people, and you insult them too. So Iran and Syria is such a dangerous problem for us. We have a natural counterweight in the Saudis, in this kind of Sunni-Shia generational rivalry they got going, this Hatfields and McCoys for the generation, and we crap on both of them? And again, you're at a table going, makes perfect sense. Guys, I'm sorry, I live in the real world. You cannot alienate the Saudis, wokeify our military, cut our Navy short of the ships they need, miss recruiting budgets for our army, fight a war in Ukraine, fight a war in China, fight a war in Africa, fight a war in Europe. But you can't do this all at the same time. Let's defend Poland. Let's defend NATO. Let's defend Syria. How? While we're $30 trillion in debt and we can't even defend our own freaking border down south? Yeah. Please tell me in what world any of this makes sense. I'm baffled.